As we wait for our WordPress site to be installed by GoDaddy or your preferred hosting provider, we're going to walk through the designs already. So we don't even have a website right now, but we're already going to start talking about design. So it's really important that you pay close attention to this lesson. So there's paid and free designs, and you may be thinking, Jeff, that's crazy to actually pay for a design. But I'm here to tell you that I've been doing WordPress design and have been deep in the trenches of WordPress for 4 or 5 years now, and I have stopped using free designs completely. And that's because the paid stuff is just so much more robust and ends up saving you a lot of time in the long run. But that being said, if you like free designs and want to actually get started with a site that's for, either for fun or something, or you're not quite sure about it, then check out some of the free designs. There's a lot of pretty nice ones coming out now that are pretty substantial, to be honest. They may not be as robust as a lot of the paid ones, but you can find them by going to wordpress.org and clicking on themes right here. So one of the nicer ones that I've seen is called Customizer without the E at the end there. And you can click on it and see what it'll look like. It'll show you a little pop-up right here. So it's a pretty nice looking theme, and it has all the stuff that you would want. And this could be good as either a creative portfolio site where you just put a bunch of images or blog posts, or it could be a way for you to have a little business page that you know that you're probably not going to update that frequently. So Customizer is a good option. There's a lot of good options, but it's pretty easy to get started with this one. Let's say that you want something a little more robust or a little more precise to what you want. So I see that there's a theme here called Pinboard, which I think is pretty cool. And basically, if you like Pinterest, and remember in a previous lesson I was talking about making your theme social, this theme is actually has a pretty good back end, which means that it has a lot of theme options that will save you time, like uploading logos and all that good stuff. And it has a lot of boxed formats. So basically, you can organize stuff really nicely, and you can have different elements, and it'll walk you through all that. So this is a nice little clean design right there. And best of all, it's free. So you can always just hit download version, whatever, here. Okay, so that's the free themes. So definitely check those out. Feel free to download them. I know personally that a lot of the free themes have had problems in the past for being a little too easy or popular for hackers or something. But in general, free themes are okay, and they're great if you want a simple website. But let's say you want something a little more robust, like an e-commerce website or something even better. That's where Themeforest comes in. I'm a big fan of Themeforest, and they have a lot of WordPress stuff. So here, we'll just click on WordPress right here. And as you can see, they have 3,291 items as of viewing it right now. And they are usually about that. It'll probably be at about 3,000 to 4,000 in the next year or so, because they remove stuff too as it gets a little dated. So basically, if you want a paid site, or a paid design rather, they're between $30 and $55, and they have a ton of options. So over on the right, you can see it says blog/magazine, and you can mouse over to see what that design looks like. So this one looks pretty nice. Let's take a look at what columns looks like. So we'll just hit that, and you get a full screen preview. We want to look at the default version, and it'll just load on up. So that looks pretty cool. Looks like a pretty nice design right there. 3 columns, and it has ratings right here, which is pretty neat. And it has lots of big pictures, and it has all kinds of really cool stuff, to be honest. Basically, it's really easy to use, and you can see that it is responsive as well. So we'll just minimize that, and as you can see, it changes its size, which is pretty cool. So great for viewing on mobile devices. Most of the paid, in fact, pretty much all of the paid themes are also responsive or adaptive, which means they work great on smartphones and iPads. So what I want you to look for is either a blog/magazine theme, and if you're looking to make a portfolio, you can click on the creative one right here, and you can mouse over and it'll show you what they look like. So if you're a photographer, you can have something with a full screen background like right here, and they'll show you what it looks like with the different skins, and all that stuff. So that's a pretty nice looking theme for if you're a photographer and looking to showcase stuff. You can do corporate, which is a really popular category, and that's basically good for any business. Any business that you're looking to really just have a site for, a landing page, or way to bring in customers. And finally, the last two things I want to point out are Buddypress, which is if you want to sort of make your own social network. So here's even a site designed for if you want to run your own dating website. And this is a social network all about movies. And there's just a lot of different things you can do with Buddypress. So here's another one that is a team blogging theme, which is $60, and that's about as expensive as themes get. And that's because it has Buddypress, which is a pretty complicated plugin that you need to be pretty tech savvy to use. And last but not least, I wanted to point out the e-commerce stuff. So they have lots of e-commerce themes right here, and you can pick just about any of these and they'll be pretty good. And a lot of them have pretty much everything built in that you could need. So as you can see, this one looks nice and works on mobile, and you can translate it. And it works with WooCommerce, which is a free e-commerce tool from the guys at Woo Themes that basically takes care of all your shop needs. So it'll let you run sales, do shipping, send emails to people, all that crazy stuff. So there's a ton of options. You can even check out the Woo Themes Superstore, which is a pretty popular theme, I'd say. And as you can see, it has big images, and it looks kind of like a pretty typical website, but then it has a blog sort of at the bottom, which I also think is a pretty nice touch. So in general, play around with this, explore this as much as you can. There's about 3,000 options. Sometimes you have to pay $5 extra for like a $50 theme versus a $55 theme. You end up getting a lot for that extra $5 is what I'm trying to say. So it's worth exploring, but there's a ton of themes out there. So I want you to pick one, and you can either buy it or you can just use a free theme for now for the purposes of just setting up your site, which is also fine. And then download the zip file. You'll need the .zip file to move on. All right, I'll see you on the next lesson.